Welcome back everybody to the Diversified Investor Channel. Your host Levi. This week I'm sharing a healthcare stock with you, and this one has got a great profit margin. So stick around. I want to show you how great this company is. They manufacture rapid testing kits, and if you think that there's going to be future strains of COVID in the future, this could play an important part. So stick around. I'm going to break this all down for you and what I think the role for this stock is going to be in the future. Also, they have a stellar metric with their earnings, so I really want to share that with you. And then lastly, how you may be able to fit this stock into your portfolio and how you should think about when to maybe buy or sell. The stock price for QDEL shot up to the moon. It started at around $15, but recently in the past year has come back down to earth. The stock price for QDEL is at around $105. Over the past 5 years, it's increased 545%. There has been big growth with this stock, and I think there is much more for this stock in the future. One of the encouraging things that I saw was an article that I came across where QDEL entered an agreement with Integrated Computer Solutions, and so they're really boosting the way that they tackle some of these problems and how they develop their products. What really made this stock stand out from all the other stocks in the healthcare sector is that this one, they inked a deal with a distributor called McKesson, and this is going to be rolled out to a lot of pharmacies and large places that will book big orders for rapid testing of COVID and other sicknesses or diseases that may be out there. So a lot of pharmacies are going to be seeking this out as COVID sticks around or maybe new strains come about. Now, in their 10K report, they did mention that they continue to focus heavily on R&D, and so they are tackling other areas such as SARS, HIV, and other strains of COVID. So there is a lot of focus for this company, and I think they have a really strong strategy plan for the years to come. And they also tripled their earnings. This was just phenomenal. There are rarely ever any stocks that are able to do this in a year. So for QDEL to be able to do this really made them stand out from all the others. Okay, from the technical side, the price has really been muted, and this will be a good time to actually buy. Now, at the time of this recording, it was a few days before the earnings, and I really think that earnings is going to push this price higher. So if you do have some capital, I would say this would be a prime time to buy, because no one's got that crystal ball and you can't really call the bottom. Any time is the best time to get in on a stock like this because they have such a strong balance sheet. Hey, are you wondering where you're seeing all these charts that I'm pulling up? It's Webull app, and Webull has been such a great app for me to use when I do all my fundamental research for stocks that I bring to you in these videos. Not only fundamentals, but the technicals. I'm able to quickly add indicators to these charts, quickly switch between time frames, and be able to see my favorite candlestick patterns. So it's just very seamless and a very simple user interface. And for me, with someone who's got a vision impairment, the Webull app has just been perfect. So even if you don't have the greatest vision or wear glasses like me, this is going to be a step up from some of the other apps that you might have been using, like say Yahoo Finance or TD Ameritrade. Some of those apps have really tiny print or poor color contrast. So make sure to hit the like button if you've been enjoying these videos that I've been bringing to you. And let's now dive into the headwinds for QDEL. QDEL, they create antigen products, which just simply means that their rapid tests for certain diseases or sicknesses out there. So you'll see them on the shelves of stores. One of those products is the rapid test for COVID. So within a few minutes, you're able to see if it's positive or negative. Now you could imagine if COVID sticks around, maybe say big orders come through airports or corporate headquarters, that this product could be in high demand. This is something that QDEL could really profit from. Now, that is all dependent on if COVID vaccine really does fix the issue. You have probably seen that there's been some reluctance of a certain percentage of the population that has not wanted to take it because of the rush time frame that these companies like Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and Moderna have pushed out these vaccines. So these are some of the headwinds and challenges that QDEL is going to have. It's a bit of uncertainty for investors. Now, the other things that QDEL is going to have to factor in is that they don't pay out dividends. So for many investors, this is a no-go zone, and they're going to look for other stocks that do offer dividends. And now this is something where when you have a healthcare stock like QDEL, it isn't very popular. It's not in the headlines of news, say like CNBC or Fast Money or CNN. So this is going to be a company that is kind of hidden and not in the main spotlight of news. This is one of those stocks I think is going to creep up in value with a little attention until it starts to get analyzed by big name analysts. And by then, the stock price will probably matured quite a bit. The competition with QDEL has been fierce. You have other players in this field like Moderna, Amgen, Johnson & Johnson, and they're all doing the same thing, which is solving the problem of COVID and the sicknesses that are out there. You might be wondering, why did Levi pick this stock? And the reason is because I believe that this is going to be needed in the future. Our world is changing very quickly, and what I've noticed from the people that I've spoken with is that there are a lot of people out there that don't want to vaccinate themselves or their children. And so what businesses and organizations are going to have to do is order large amounts of these rapid tests. And if it's going to be for, say, universities or corporate campuses or airports, teams are going to want to have these on hand for those who can't prove that they've had the COVID vaccine. So this is something that I think is going to be prevalent in the future and available for people on shelves. Ultimately, I think this will drive the name of QDEL into the forefront, and people are going to start to notice this company and the different products they have, like Savannah, like QuickView, and some of these other ones that are in the in vitro area. And that just simply means the lab tests that are done. So QDEL, high growth stock, and I think they have a strong fundamentals. Their technicals on their stock price action side is pretty weak right now, but like they say, you know, when there's blood in the streets, it's probably a good time to get in. And so if this is something that you want to get into the healthcare sector, it is one that I think would be on the safer side. Some of those other ones that I think would be a little more risky would be like CODX. I think some of the more risky stocks in this sector would be the ones that are under a valuation of $1 billion, the ones that are actually still seeking FDA approval for their product. All in all, yes, I think there's going to be some big growth for QDEL. It may not be overnight or in a few months, but I think the years ahead are going to see big growth with QDEL if they are able to manage the company well and adapt and innovate quickly. Now, I think healthcare stocks should be in everyone's portfolio. Now, not more than 20% of your portfolio of stocks, but you should have a few of those healthcare stocks in there. And if you're one that are adverse to risk, meaning you're not comfortable seeing your portfolio swing up and down, you're going to want to pick some of those more stable, larger healthcare stocks like Moderna or J&J, Amgen, ones like that. So just keep that in mind. The thing to remember is that if you're picking stocks that are lower in stock price, they're going to have a smaller valuation, and you could potentially see more price movement with those stocks. Big picture wise, it's always good to make sure you have some safer plays and some more high growth picks in your portfolio so that it's balanced. Thank you guys for watching this video. Healthcare stocks are a little different, a little more difficult to understand than some of the other social media related stocks out there. But healthcare stocks are very important because right now they're looking to solve some of the biggest problems that are going on in the world right now. But make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you see more videos like this, and make sure to check the link in the description below. I'm providing some resources for you guys at a very low cost, and so I want to help you guys get up and going with your investment journey. I want to make sure that you know the right tools and what information to look at and what is important, and so that you're able to improve the productivity, your time and energy, so that you guys become savvy investors. So I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video.